This time the story of the man who appeared with the title "Don't Want to Remarry But Children Need a Mother." I want to ask the opinion of readers and admins. More or less my fate is like this. My wife passed while giving birth to my daughter, who is now 7 years old, and I am not married again, because I love my wife with all my soul. The story is, after marriage my wife suffered from vaginismus, so my wife and I temporarily refrained from doing what couples usually do. 2 years after my wife's journey with vaginismus, I still remember, we were very excited but confused about what to do, because it was not as easy as it seems in movies or videos to do what couples usually do, and I remember that as an experience which is funny, precious, and sad to me. After 5 months trying to do that and it worked, then my wife got pregnant, and I was so moved, I cried. My wife was crying too, crying happily. Starting a long arduous journey while raising a fetus, my wife likes to cry alone, looks confused, panicked and sensitive, but that's all normal. I was so supportive of her pregnancy that I applied for a lot of work leave. Then I bathe my wife, feed her, take care of the house, etc. And I do it with pleasure. And my wife said she always smells rotten, all food feels nauseous to her, she also always looks sad, then often has stomach aches, backaches, etc. When examined, it turned out that my wife's blood was very bad, and my wife's body grew cysts in the uterus during pregnancy. Gynecologists say this is rare, which resulted in swelling. And at 7 months pregnant, my wife's spine shifted, she likes to scream in pain when she wakes up, or in an upright position, and bends down, so I can also see, and it's as if I feel my wife's pain. I am always on standby, until I give CCTV, which is connected to my laptop when I go to work. And at the age of 8 months the doctor asked me to agree to my wife giving birth by cesarean section to reduce the risk to the wife. A week before giving birth, my wife fell in the room, and immediately fainted. I immediately came home from work, because I saw my wife fell and did not get up again, on CCTV. On time on the way to the maternity hospital my wife had no heartbeat. I panicked and cried, and my wife immediately underwent a C-section when she arrived at the hospital. My daughter survived, with premature birth, and my wife passed. I cried hysterically at that time, and I remember very well, that time I almost suicide in front of my wife's corpse, but my in-laws immediately told me to hug my newborn daughter who was crying with thirst. I immediately contemplated and wiped my tears. I apologized to my wife for not being a good husband, but I promised to be a good father to my daughter. After so many years of being a single parent, this is the first time my daughter has said, "Dad, is having a mother fun?" Maybe if there was, she could accompany me to watch Barbie or choose Barbie clothes together. I couldn't help but be silent and pensive, and in my heart said, if my wife is still in this world. All this time I went to work. I left my children in daycare, because I no longer had parents and my in-laws were also very old, so I couldn't bear to bother them. After work I pick up my daughter, and shop for dinner. While I cook, my daughter immediately turns on the television watching Barbie. After dinner, we play for a while and sleep. I was so busy with work and taking care of my daughter that my in-laws said it would be better if I remarried, but I didn't want to. My daughter also started wanting a mother figure, but I still love my wife. What do readers and admins think? Should I remarry? Even though I myself do not want to leave the figure of my wife and I intend to be a widower forever, is it wrong if I am like that? Little information: my daughter has heart disease, and her heart is always weak. Even the doctor said my daughter will not survive until she is 14 years old. I am very sad. I am afraid that my daughter will not be happy.